Welcome to this explainer. We're jumping straight into a complete teardown of a visualization engine that's literally about to change everything. If you're an early adopter, an audiophile, or just someone who genuinely geeks out over high-spec hardware, pushing the absolute boundaries of digital rendering, you are absolutely in the right place. Today, we're not just talking about some incremental year-over-year upgrade. We are looking at a total paradigm shift in immersive tech that completely rewrites how we interact with visual data.
Look, let's just shatter those childhood memories of dusty field trips right out of the gate. When you hear planetarium, you probably picture a clunky, analog pinhole projector sitting in a dark room, throwing off heat and projecting static white dots on a ceiling. Yeah, forget all of that. What we're tearing down today is not a simple slide projector. This is a massive leap into a dynamic 4K laser-phosphor environment. We're talking quad-pixel shifting and continuous rendering. It's replacing static mechanics with pure, uninterrupted digital fluidity.
Because of this massive technological leap, we kinda need to reframe what a modern dome actually is. It is no longer just a theater for looking at stars. It's an elite, multimodal AI runtime engine for your eyes. Think of it as a high-density, 180 by 360-degree immersive visualization environment capable of processing real-time data seamlessly. It's essentially a giant physical VR headset you step inside of, but without any of the isolating, bulky headgear, rendering massive datasets across literally any scientific discipline.
Let's look inside the Theta G3. To really understand this, we need to look under the hood at the exact hardware deployment making this visual supremacy possible. First up in the tech spec teardown, 30,000. That is the staggering expected lifetime in hours of the pure laser phosphor illumination driving this system. For the hardware geeks out there, you know exactly what that means. Zero degradation of color accuracy over time, and absolutely no expensive traditional lamp replacements. It's clean, it is relentlessly bright, and it provides a massive return on investment.
And the raw rendering power? Massive. 2,160 pixels projected directly across the diameter of the dome. But the system doesn't just blast a 4K resolution at a flat wall. It uses a highly engineered proprietary fisheye adapter lens to map those pixels perfectly across a curved physical space. That ensures your focus, contrast, and brightness stay absolutely locked in and consistent, all the way from the zenith straight above your head, right down to the horizon line.
All that dense pixel mapping translates to an aggressive hardware flex of 12 pixels per linear degree of sky. Why does that specific metric matter to you? Well, to put it into perspective, the unmagnified moon only takes up about half a degree in our sky. So with 12 pixels dedicated to every single degree, this engine can show the exact phase of the moon, craters and all, with razor-sharp clarity. It's a pixel density so high it literally tricks your visual cortex into perceiving true depth. When you stack it up, the crucial takeaway is how the Theta 3 just crushes standard models. While the very capable Delta 5 Plus pushes out 0.92 megapixels, the Theta 3 absolutely dominates the category with an incredible 3.66 megapixels of total projected resolution inside a 7-meter dome. That's over 3.5 million individual points of light, precisely engineered for an uncompromised visual field. It is hands down the heavyweight of portable projection. Now, to push those pixels without dropping a single frame, the system relies on an embedded NVIDIA GPU mounted directly to the enclosure. This gives you raw, uninterrupted processing muscle right in the rig. Pair that GPU with an ultra-reliable embedded OS, 2 terabytes of internal storage, and a highly efficient power draw of just 515 watts, and you have an enterprise-grade processing beast. And the best part? It runs totally behind the scenes. No sudden OS updates popping up to completely ruin your immersion. Okay, let's pivot to the Nightshade G3 AI runtime. Because, as we all know, raw hardware is essentially useless without brilliant code to drive it. The Nightshade G3 software is a proprietary simulator built specifically for these environments. It gives you contiguous travel through space and time. No visual stuttering, no awkward loading screens, and no UI discontinuities breaking the illusion. Plus, it integrates with the StrataScript macro language, meaning operators can script complex, real-time augmented rendering sequences right on the fly. Thanks to that incredibly robust software stack, you're not just limited to stars and galaxies anymore. This is where the multimodal aspect truly shines. You can render literally anything. Imagine flying smoothly from the edge of the observable universe, zooming straight into the pulsing details of human anatomy, diving through the oceans, or navigating complex molecular structures. It turns the entire dome into a universal visualization chamber for any subject you want.
Which brings us to the Lakewood hardware build-out. This is a real-world, mission-critical deployment happening right now in Lakewood, Colorado, and the context here is super important. The original Robert H. Johnson Planetarium was built way back in 1963. But in May of 2024, the district decided to demolish that aging analog facility. So instead of letting the program just die with the building, astrophysicist Ariel Scisney initiated a massive pivot. They're taking the whole experience mobile with an 8-meter portable digital theater.
Ariel captures this paradigm shift perfectly, basically saying they are bypassing the old brick-and-mortar limitations entirely to start a new, highly advanced mobile planetarium from scratch. By untethering from a fixed building, this elite rendering tech can literally be driven directly to students and communities. It's a modernized, decentralized approach to immersive education that lines up perfectly with today's agile tech ethos.
Looking at the financial schematics of this $53,130 build-out, you see a really beautiful prioritization of resources. The vast majority, $31,300, goes straight into the heavy computing, the silicon, the lasers, and the optics of the Theta 3 engine and Nightshade software. The remaining $21,830 funds the massive 8-meter inflatable dome itself. It is a lean, hyper-focused allocation designed to maximize the sensory experience without wasting a dime on overhead.
So the only question remaining for those of you who truly get hardware supremacy is, are you ready to help deploy this tech into the wild? I mean, it's one thing to sit back and geek out over 4K laser-phosphor specs in embedded NVIDIA GPUs, but it's another thing entirely to actively put this multimodal engine into the hands of the next generation of coders, engineers, and scientists.
You can actually be a part of this 4K laser revolution. Support the ultimate hardware build-out for Lakewood by giving at the GoFundMe link for the project. Let's make this multimodal AI runtime a reality for these students. And honestly, it leaves us with a massive question to think about. As these hyper-dense, portable digital realities get cheaper and more powerful, what happens to traditional education when we can literally simulate the entire universe inside a school gym? Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I'll catch you on the next deep dive.